I am definitely not someone who is just effortlessly cool or glamorous. That's just not me. Hey everyone, Donna here. The other day, I was listening to this podcast that I really love. It is called The Bittersweet Life, and it's a podcast by two Americans who have both spent time living abroad in Rome. Of course, I will link to the podcast down in the description below. They talk about life abroad, but also so many other little spin-off topics, like this episode in particular, in which they were talking about absurdly glamorous events and what made those events so glamorous in their mind. And these were usually events that they had often just kind of stumbled into. Listening to this episode made me think of two of my own stories that I would like to share today. The first one fits pretty well with the stories that they shared on the podcast, and that was kissing Mr. German man on the train platform in Munich. At this time, I had only been living in Europe for a few months. I was living in Prague at the time, visiting Munich for a week, and just living in Europe in and of itself seemed like a pretty glamorous thing. Now, I will preface all of this by saying, once again, I am not a glamorous person. I am awkward and I like corny jokes. I really love dad jokes. I like doing, thumbs up. And yeah, I'm just not glamorous. And I'm okay with that. That's not who I am. And that's totally cool. But anyway, Stefan and I had been hanging out for a few days in Munich. And oh my God, I was just head over heels for him. I fell so hard, so quickly, right away. And at the end of my time in Munich, he brought me to the underground platform and waited with me for my train to pull up. The train comes in, and as it rushes into the underground area, the wind is just blowing all over the place. My hair is blowing all over the place. He pulls me into him, and he kisses me all dramatically, dips me down like in the movies, or at least that's what I remember in my memory, dips me down, and then brings me back up. And then he drew me off of his arm, helping me rush onto the train at the very last moment. The train doors shut, and as the train pulls away, he waves out his arm and says, "I'll see you in Prague." I'll see you in Prague. I'll see you in Prague. But the podcast also made me think of a more recent experience that I've had too. This one did not feel so glamorous as it did cool. Just so cool. Now, remember a few seconds ago when I assured you of how not glamorous I am? The same thing applies to being cool as well. However, the other day I found myself smack dab in the middle of just the coolest of cool moments. Not because of anything that I did to make it cool, except for my sweater. Oh, maybe, yes, I did buy that sweater. Hold on, wait, let me go get my sweater, help set the mood. It was this one. I was wearing this oversized, let me see if I can get it on. Oh, it's hot in here. This oversized sweater cardigan thing when it happened. And this sweater is basically the coolest thing that I own. That and my cutoff jean shorts. Okay, so what happened? A couple of weeks ago, we had this incredibly warm, perfect weekend here in Germany, right in the middle of October. The summer had returned to Germany for one last hurrah. It was 25 degrees Celsius and it was gorgeous. I was hanging out with a friend of mine, very cool guy, at least I think he's cool. I wonder now what he'll say when he watches this video. And some of his equally very cool friends when they suggested we go up onto the roof of their apartment building. Apparently something they did all the time, which to me already immediately sounded like such a cool thing to do, like a scene straight out of the movies. We were gonna go up on the roof. But I had no idea just how movie-esque things were about to get. We climb up the ladder to the roof, and what do I think to bring up there with me? A bottle of water. I go up onto a roof and I bring with me some water. Because, hydration is very important. We get up there and you know what everyone else has brought up onto the roof with them? Everything else besides water. I sit down and I look around and I realize, oh, look at that. I'm sitting on a chair. They brought chairs onto the roof. Chairs, plural, as in like 4 or 5 of them. Also blankets, multiple ones. And these beautiful, huge, decorative throw pillows that don't just provide a comfy place to sit when I get sick of, sitting on a chair on the roof, but also these pillows are colorful and beautiful and they really help to set the mood. And I brought water. Some people also brought wine, but not with a bottle. There was no bottle, just in glasses. There were multiple glasses up on the roof this evening, and sodas and beer, and of course my water. But wait, can we get back to the glasses of wine for a second? There was no bottle, so that means that they carried the wine glass with the wine in it up the ladder and onto the roof. See, that's what I'm talking about. This cool thing. Like, I'm not that effortlessly cool to carry a glass of wine up a ladder and onto a roof. No. On top of all of that, someone then put some music on with their phone, but they did not just play the music from their phone. No, they had brought with them this little speaker system thing so that the sound quality would be top notch. But there's more. We had gone up fairly early in the evening, but then once it started to get darker, that same person who had brought the little speaker thing pulled this small battery-powered light out of their bag and set it up in the kind of corner of our area. It was tinted red so that it provided just the perfect touch of light without messing up the ambiance. In fact, it added to the ambiance. So there I found myself up on a roof with quality music playing in the background and blankets and decorative throw pillows and chairs and drinks in delicate little wine glasses and mood lighting. And of course my water. You don't want to forget about my water. And my big oversized sweater. And just when I was thinking, wow, did I just fall out of a movie scene here? A shooting star passed by overhead. There was then a shooting star. It was so cool. Definitely not the kind of moment that I feel like would come naturally for me to put together myself. If I found myself up on a roof, I would be sitting there with my water and I would see the shooting star. And it would still be cool, but not as cool. So my question for you is, do you think that people actually ever see themselves as cool, or other people see them as cool, but they don't actually see themselves as cool? Does anyone out there, do you see yourself as cool? And also, what is a cool or glamorous moment that you've experienced? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed these videos, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you so much. And also a really, really, really big thank you so much to our patrons on Patreon who help make these videos possible. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to check out our Patreon page, you can find a link to that down in the description box below. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen. What is the most cool or glamorous moment? I am proving how uncool I am. I just used one last hurrah and I even did the arm thing. It wasn't even sparkling water, it was still water.